step closer towards justice at a time the ecosystem is mocking genocide. Our forces are feeling the pain of victims. The DG, the Director General of the CRPF, has gone on record to say that forces are ready to ensure peace and safety. This assurance, viewers, has brought hope and relief. Listen to this.
वो नंबर हमारे पास नहीं है. नंबर आई थिंक दैट कैन बी गिवन, दैट इज देयर, कि उनके घरों की वो सुरक्षा दोनों तरह की होती है. मंदिरों के परिसर से अगर कैंप लगा हुआ है तो एक हमको जगह भी मिल जाती है और वो परिसर की भी सुरक्षा होती है. और दूसरे जहां तक वो है क्या बोलते हैं कश्मीर पंडितों के घरों से, तो घरों की भी सुरक्षा होती है और हमको भी जगह मिल जाती है. अगर वो आते हैं अपने घर को क्लेम करने तो हमें खाली करने में कोई आपत्ति नहीं है. वहां पब्लिक प्लेस हम गवर्नमेंट से मांगेंगे, तुरंत हमको कोई ना कोई देंगे वो.
We will ensure peace and safety is the sum and substance of that assurance. And let me quickly open this up. Ishan Wani, Suhail, Pradeep Datta all joining us. Dr. Vikram Singh, former UP DGP, also on the show. But Pradeep, let me begin by asking you, this is a massive statement of intent, isn't it? The forces are saying we are ready to secure your lives.
Yes, forces had been doing it for the last 3 decades. Why they had been occupying those houses? One, they wanted to protect those houses. Second, they wanted to fight against terror. So initially, they were not having a place. That's one of the reasons that those Kashmiri Pandit houses were occupied. Now, the bigger question, Pranesh, is if forces are ready to leave those houses, forces are ready to leave those premises, so why those encroachers are not leaving those houses that they have occupied illegally? And Kashmiri Pandits, even after 3 decades, are not able to get back home because of this reason. You must have seen, Pranesh, ever since government recently announced a policy of preserving and protecting Kashmiri Pandit property, they started removing encroachments. You saw that all of a sudden there was an ecosystem that was working. They were trying to demonize Kashmiri Pandits. We saw the killing of Kashmiri Pandits started in October 2021. Once again, they started targeting them, trying to generate fear. And here on Times Now, we had been highlighting how they were trying to target Hindus and Hindustanis because one, the Kashmiri Pandits stood for India. The second, they were, because of their faith, they started targeting them. Third thing is that they never ever wanted Kashmiri Pandits to return. Had they been really very serious about the return of Kashmiri Pandits so far as the community, the radical Islamist community in Kashmir is concerned, so they would not have allowed the targeted killing.
Absolutely, but this is a big relief. This gives the victims, the Kashmiri Pandits who are fighting for justice for 3 decades now, a big sense of relief. Ishan?
Well, yes, in a way, because they want to come back to Kashmir Valley, and that is one grievance they have with successive governments, that, you know, when they talk about Kashmiri Pandits, why haven't their homecoming being made possible? Because many Kashmiri Pandit activists have been demanding that they should be brought home. Now, UPA might claim that they have built these camps and also, you know, colonies for these Kashmiri Pandits who came back to Kashmir and launched a PM special jobs package. But at the same time, the larger question that is Kashmiri Pandits are today raising after this film came out is that since every government has been talking about the rehabilitation, the security is there, that the CRPF DG going on record and saying that we have ensured a peaceful atmosphere there, and you know, what next? Because this is now the question now that will be asked by the Kashmiri Pandits, given the fact that there are assurances from the security forces, there are assurances from the government as well, then what is the step ahead? That is something which we'll have to wait and see.
Stay with us. Let's once again play out that comment. This is important, viewers, because this comes at a time when there is a clamor for justice, something that should have been organic, should have been done on its own, but successive governments have done nothing, paid only lip service. Listen to this.
वो नंबर हमारे पास नहीं है. नंबर आई थिंक दैट कैन बी गिवन, दैट इज देयर, कि उनके घरों की वो सुरक्षा दोनों तरह की होती है. मंदिरों के परिसर से अगर कैंप लगा हुआ है तो एक हमको जगह भी मिल जाती है और वो परिसर की भी सुरक्षा होती है. और दूसरे जहां तक वो है क्या बोलते हैं कश्मीर पंडितों के घरों से, तो घरों की भी सुरक्षा होती है और हमको भी जगह मिल जाती है. अगर वो आते हैं अपने घर को क्लेम करने तो हमें खाली करने में कोई आपत्ति नहीं है. वहां पब्लिक प्लेस हम गवर्नमेंट से मांगेंगे, तुरंत हमको कोई ना कोई देंगे वो.
Dr. Vikram Singh, I want you to put this in context. Why is this comment so important?
Yes, good afternoon. This comment has a lot of relevance, considerable relevance. In the first place, if a paramilitary force or the police force is there in the temple or in any evacuated property, that is with a double purpose. Number one, shelter, and number two, protection and safeguarding as custodians of this property. Let us not live in any illusion that they are there to usurp anybody's property. Had it been at cost payment, rest assured, it would have been at a very, very prohibitive cost. We should thank the CRPF that they were there as custodians of the property at zero cost to those who were wronged and those, in fact, who were removed from the property. Indeed, it is a job of any disciplined force to vacate it when the true owners come and claim the property in less than 24 hours and give them in the position that they took the property over without any damage or any disuse of the property that they have used in the degeneration of the property. But the paramilitary forces and the police forces will be duty bound to ensure the safe handover of this property to them and ensure safety not only today but for all times to come, and give a befitting reply to all those who cast a negative view towards them and the owners of this property. I salute the CRPF DG Kuldeep Singh for coming out with a bold statement, and indeed I feel that the good news of the rehabilitation of Kashmiri Pandits is round the corner.
But the trouble is, Dr. Singh, and I want to bring in our colleague Suhail, the trouble, Suhail, is this, that while our forces are feeling the pain, the netas are dismissing the plight of Pandits as propaganda.
Yes, right. As far as the netas are concerned, there's completely failure. They have completely failed to protect those Kashmiri Pandit properties, despite the fact that in 1997 they brought a law to protect and to stop those distress sales, but on ground it couldn't help. Now CRPF DG saying this statement, in a way the CRPF occupying those houses or commercial establishments of Kashmiri Pandits, it has helped them to preserve. All across Kashmir, if we see any structure intact or any building intact, it's only that building that's with CRPF. CRPF had in fact got some space for there to function, but in a larger perspective, we see they have helped Kashmiri Pandit community in preserving those lands and those properties. As far as the state government is concerned, those governments who were in place from 1990s onwards, they have not only helped those elements to encroach Kashmiri Pandit properties, but at certain locations we have seen that the state governments are itself the encroachers. They have encroached lands. In fact, temple lands have been encroached by the state government, by the departments who were supposed to take care of. As per 1997 Migrant Property Act, that was to stop any damage to these properties or to distress sale. But in fact, we have seen that deputy commissioner or divisional commissioner who were designated as custodian of those Pandit properties didn't act as custodians. There are a number of complaints. Recently, we have seen the LG administration in Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir launching a particular portal for completely dedicated to this cause, wherein the Kashmiri Pandits have been filing complaints time and again. There are a number of complaints who are in process. A few among Kashmiri Pandits have got back their properties, and number of cases are in judicial review. So as far as the CRPF is concerned, in a way they have helped this community to preserve
stay with us.
assets.
Dr. Ramesh Raina, President of the All India Kashmiri Savaj, will be joining us. But Pradeep, while this assurance by forces is welcome, will bring relief, hope, the government also now needs to step up and order a commission of inquiry to begin with.
Yes, you're absolutely right. I think that there should be Truth and Reconciliation Commission, which many political parties in the past had also been suggesting. And this is the time to hold an inquiry and see who had been responsible for all this genocide, exodus of Kashmiri Pandits, encroachment of land, and who had been in fact supporting them. And I agree with what Suhail is saying. It's not only that the people had encroached upon the land, but the government, respective government, whether it was Umar Abdullah's government, whether it was Mufti Said, whether it's Mahbooba Mufti, they also supported that ecosystem. Why I'm saying though, because I had been interviewing so many people. Tej Kishan is one person from Nagam area in Badgam. He had several canals of land that was encroached upon by government. They constructed a polytechnic college. Why the Kashmiri Pandit land was used when already 1997 Migration Act was there to prevent and preserve the property? The second thing is that there is another case in Andwara also. Here also the person had Chunilal. He had about 7
There are
canals
several
of land.
cases. There are several cases that we've exposed and we will expose. But let me get in Mr. Lalit Ambardar. Needs no introduction. Sir, the CRPF DG in a massive statement of intent has said, we are here to protect you. Don't worry.
We are grateful, we are honored, and we are blessed that we have security forces resisting Kashmir Jihad in Kashmir at the cost of their own lives. Our army out there guarding our borders there. We have no reason not to believe that we are blessed, as I said. But is it only about the spaces that are being occupied? They're being used by the security? No, not at all. I think somebody is trying to create a controversy. But yes, our personal properties, our places of worship that have been encroached upon, that have been occupied, that have been even taken over through fraudulent means, that is part of genocide. Genocide is not just extermination, physical extermination. It's also to erase the symbols of existence of the targeted community. Your temples, your hill temples. Shankaracharya has become a Kohemaran. How can it be? Srinagar city, which is...
You're absolutely right. That's a very good point that you've made, Mr. Ambardar. Thank you. Thank you for joining us on that. But Dr. Ramesh Raina, President of the All India Kashmiri Samaj, is now back with us. Mr. Raina, relief, rehabilitation, reconciliation, all these three things must be done so that justice is ensured.
Yes, you're absolutely correct. Justice has to be done. It has not to be done only, but it has to be seen as being done. See, question is that all these 32 years we have been waiting for such a moment when our issue will be taken at a highest level. And we are grateful to this Vivek Agnihotri for screening this TKF movie, which has again brought the issue of Kashmiri Pandits to the center stage. As far as reconciliation is concerned, restitution is concerned, rehabilitation is concerned, it is absolutely dependent on concrete CBMs. Concrete CBMs means that confidence building measures which are visible to Kashmiri Pandits, that they feel confident, that they feel that no, something is being done. Otherwise, for all these years, we have seen only political statements being made. Now, imagine in 2014, the then President of India, Shri Pranab Mukherjee, read a presidential statement in the Parliament of India, whereby the rehabilitation of Kashmiri Pandits was on the agenda of the present government. For the past almost 7 years, what we have seen that the policies pursued by the present government towards Kashmir are welcome. We indeed appreciate that scrapping of Article 370, scrapping of Article 35A, and scrapping of special status to the Kashmir has brought Kashmir to the mainstream of Indian politics. But the policies towards Kashmiri Pandits have not unfolded to the extent as we would have wished it to be.
And let's hope that it happens sooner than later, because we are already 32 years too late.